What's up, YouTube diecast enthusiasts? Got another video for you tonight. Should be a relatively quick video. I'm just going to show these Matchbox Superfast cars. Some kind of commemorative release. I don't know, because there's no packaging and there's no there's no copyright or anything like that on any of these, so let's just go one at a time and see what we got. Starting with this 1957 Chevrolet Corvette. Now you can see the box is here, and as you can see, there's no text, no licensing information, no copyright. There's also no copyright on the tin, so not really sure what's going on with it, but anyways, these cars are pretty cool looking. I am a fan of Matchbox, particularly the mainline stuff. I think they do a bang-up job on the licensed models. For $1, they're the nicest licensed models out there. Now, Hot Wheels has gotten better, but they're very selective as to which licensed models they want to do well. Seems like most of them have cheesy graphics and no detail, but every now and then, like that new Civic, the new Civic looks good. The new RX-7 looks really good. They put out some Skylines that look really good, but overall, I think Matchbox does a much better job with the licensed models. Now this is a convertible tooling. This is a plastic top, much like what you would see with a Greenlight or an Auto World, but really good detail. You've got brake light detail, painted bumpers, headlight detail, indicators. Got the nice multi-color look to the Corvette. Not a big fan of the casting itself. Not a big fan of the car, actually. I thought that these 1950s model Corvettes were quite ugly. That's just a personal opinion. They all have plastic base and the Superfast tires, and they definitely want to roll. These things, I'm sure, I'll have to test them at some point once I get moved, but they seem like they would haul down the track. My least favorite of the set, I'll show it next, even though it's the only one that features rubber tires, and that's the Shelby Cobra concept. These cars, I think some of them do say what the scale is. This is 1 to 60. Now the wheels and tires on this one I think look pretty good. I'm not a fan of the casting though. The Shelby Cobra concept Matchbox tooling looks, to me, very similar to the Hot Wheels tooling. I'm almost wondering if they're the same tool. I don't think they are. I don't actually think there's any example of that in the last like 10 to 20 years. I know back in the late 80s, early 90s, when Mattel first acquired Matchbox, they did kind of overlap a couple of them, I think. But since then, I don't think there have been any. But anyways, it's an alright car, I guess. It's nothing I would put on the shelf for display. If anything, it'd be a good wheel donor. But I don't think I would do that either, because for me, I kind of want to keep the set together. So the rest of these models I like quite a bit. This one here, just an old Ford Thunderbird, also 1957, so same year as the Corvette. Not a big fan of the old 50s T-Birds either, but I do like the look of the T-Bird better than the Corvette, at least in the late 50s. That changed later on, though, for me. But I just like this color. This color really pops. And for me, there's just something about pink cars in diecast form. Obviously, I'd never have a real pink car, but pretty good detail. Better detail than what you would usually find on a Matchbox mainline car, which, and actually, like lately, you really can't even say that, because on the licensed models lately, they've been doing such a killer job getting headlight, taillight tampos. This one's pretty awesome. This is a 65 Shelby Cobra 427. I like this one. Definitely a different tooling than the Hot Wheels here, no debate. One thing about the Shelby Cobra is that once you've had the Hot Wheels 100% Shelby Cobra, or the Shelby Collectibles Cobra, or even the Greenlight Shelby Cobra, which is an old high-speed casting, once you've had one of those three, you almost can't even appreciate the Hot Wheels or Matchbox. And that's the case on a lot of them, a lot of different castings, which is why I don't get too excited about Matchbox and Hot Wheels, even though I do still collect them to a certain extent. But just part of the set there. I wouldn't have picked these cars for a commemorative set like this. There might have been, well, there's probably one of these that I would have picked, maybe two. This one here is awesome. '70 Boss 302. Now this is a tooling, or a casting, where actually I think Hot Wheels did a much better job. But in this particular case, because of this frosty Spectre Flame paint, this car looks really good. But I do like the Hot Wheels Boss 302 a lot better. But, you know, these cars, I don't think these are too common. I don't think you're going to come across these too often. I acquired these in a trade, and I gave up very little to get this set, so that is why I have it. And mainly, just interested in the tin. Some of these cars, if I ever do break up the set, this one here is probably the only one that I would feel compelled to keep. 69 Chevy Camaro Z28. That's a really cool burnt orange color that my camera is probably not going to pick up. But it looks really good with the white stripes. And these cars, I mean, just setting them down here on the table, they definitely want to roll. Doesn't take much. So, might have to get these on the track. But I like this car. I think Matchbox did a nice job with it. It's got some nice lines to it, but I think this is probably the one car of these six that would stay in my collection. along with the tin. So I have no idea. I should go check online and see what these sell for and see how available they are, because it's not one of those things. I don't think it's like too common. I'm sure you can find them easily and for cheap, but I mean, hell, even regular mainline Matchbox cars nowadays are, you know, there's those 2 or 3 castings per case that are just impossible to find. If you're not the first one to the pegs, you're not going to find them. Like the Hakko Skyline, the Volkswagen Golf, that Mercedes 6x6. Now, eventually, you know, once they've been out for 6 months or a year, then they might start hanging around on the pegs a little bit longer once all the collectors have their fill. But it is kind of crazy how hard Matchbox cars have gotten to find. I know that they're made in large quantities, like Hot Wheels. Hot Wheels, gosh, they come out with what, 350 cars a year or something like that. I would say, I don't even know what I would guess, but I would guess somewhere around 500,000 castings per car. They're just not rare. Super treasure hunts are probably somewhere in the tens of thousands, and that actually is just a number that I've heard speculated from other collectors. I would probably agree with that guess. Hot Wheels has never publicly stated what the production is, but for just regular mainline Hot Wheels, 500,000, maybe even 1 million of each. If there are 350 per year and they did 1 million of each casting, that would be 350 million Hot Wheels a year. I can see that being the case on a global level. I don't think that that's out of the realm of possibilities. So, anyways, this M2 is dope. I like that. The lowered look. Looks really good, but I also like the Safari with the rally stance. So you've got your street stance. There's your rally stance. There's your street racer stance. Both of these cars are from M2. They have not been tampered with, so this one does come with the slammed base. You can see if you look at the axle there where it says M2, it's just totally flat. Whereas with the Safari, you have more of an elevated axle. Both look good. Each one serves its purpose, and I'm sure we're going to see a good amount of both of those from M2. But for all you that are doing the Brock customs, do the Brock customs with this one, just so that it's more realistic. I guess it doesn't matter. You could do the Brock custom with this one, and then when you come across this one, just switch the bases out. That's all you have to do. So actually it doesn't matter. But I do think the Brock customs would look much better on the lowered one. Now, hopefully what we're going to see is an actual Brock Racing from M2. That's got to be coming at some point soon. I mean, if Greenlight can get the Brock licensing, there's no reason why M2 can't. I doubt that Greenlight got the exclusive on it, being that Hot Wheels has actually Hot Wheels probably doesn't have Brock licensing anymore. And I don't think any of the imports have that, except for I think Tomica has Brock licensing. I don't know. I don't know how all that works, but I would love to see M2 just go out and get the Brock licensing and make their own Brie 510 and also the Fair Lady, because that would be totally sick. And you know, the only thing with that is, yes, Greenlight did get the Brock licensing, but that almost didn't happen. It almost fell through, and that took a lot of doing from the guys over at Greenlight and Brock Racing Enterprises. It almost fell through, so it was a good day, the day that they did finalize that agreement. But man, that would look awesome with some Brock livery right there. Nice little Fair Lady Z. And I think on that note, I'm going to call it a night. So there you go. Matchbox Superfast Collector's Tin 6-car set. I have no idea what year it came out. I have no idea how limited it is. Don't know. So a lot of you probably know more about it than I do, but I'll go online and take a look and see what I can find. Before I wrap it up, got some purchases on the way, and I've got at least 1 or 2, maybe 3 trades on the way. So I'm hoping that I can get all that stuff in before Saturday so I can do these videos and finish everything up before the move. Otherwise, other arrangements will have to be made with the either the videos or the removal of the diorama. So we'll see what happens with that, but there is more stuff to come, so stay tuned for that. And as always, happy hunting, and I will holler at the next video.